Challenge of Phyrexia. Just like in the previous video, I'm actually going to be using the Phyrexian Challenge deck once again. This is the deck of all the potential creatures. As you can see, some of them are pretty dang powerful. Go ahead and give it a quick shuffle. We're going to just do one game, but we're going to be very thoughtful about what we do. I do not have that many Bajuka Bog in this, but they keep showing up. Oops, I think I put those in backwards. There we go. This is the targeting player deck. For those of you who don't know what I'm doing here, in a previous video I showed off that I'd built a challenge deck similar to the Face the Hydra and the Horde and the Defeat a God decks from Theros block. When they first came out, I had the idea, well, how did that work? So I kind of made my own version of it. And so I built a deck, well, 3 decks. One that was comprised entirely of creatures, 49 creatures. I have 9 1/1s and 8 2/2s, all the way up to just 1 9/9 creature. And over here I have a deck of cards that targets a specific player, and a deck over here that targets, well, that affects all players, including, well, it affects all whatever's going on. It doesn't target. And I did this so that there could be a challenge deck that multiple players could play against, and it would provide a challenge. I played this against, I played this in Commander. I played against it with 5 players, and it actually managed to kill 1 player. It did pretty cool. Over the years, over the year, I guess, I've learned different tricks for how to make it work properly. And yeah, somebody on the internet told me that they had built something similar, and that the best way to get it all to work was to give the players 3 turns first. But since I'm playing a Tuktuk Tiny Leader deck against it, I actually wanted to give myself only 2 turns, because Tuktuk's gosh darn fast, and Tiny Leaders is gosh darn fast. But we'll see if that's worthwhile or not. So, yeah. Get out Tuktuk the Explorer, the deck, a few tokens, quite a few tokens. I never really use the sideboard, although I do have one. Basically, when I'm actually playing in a, a casual game for in a card shop, I will play the sideboard. All right, give this a few quick shuffles, and give ourselves a couple of turns to establish presence on the board. Get out our life counter. People seem to like it, and give Phyrexia a life counter. The way it works is it combines all the total life count, the total life amount from all players that are playing. Like in that Commander game, it was 5 players at 40 life each, so Phyrexia had 200 life points, which doesn't do that much once you consider Commander games can get out of hand pretty quick. But it at least provided a challenge. So let's go to turn 1. Go ahead and, well, we haven't gone to turn 1 yet. We have to draw our cards. There we go. And we can keep this 2 land. That's all we ever need. Alright, turn 1, Mountain, tap, Goblin Guide, swing for 2. Now because Phyrexia is not a player, it's completely exempt from anything that demands a player do something. In this case, defending player can't look at the top of the library or put a card from the library into their hand. There is no hand. You can't make Phyrexia discard. You can't force it to make a decision. It's an entire plane. It's the 9 hells of Magic the Gathering. So you can't target it with spells that say target player either. So if it were to put out a Planeswalker, well, it wouldn't play a Planeswalker because it can't command the Planeswalker's favor. So yeah, I swung for 2. It has no hope but to take the damage. It's at 23. Go on to turn 2. Untap. Draw. Okay, we can do similar to what we did one of the previous games. I think that's what would work best with that, but I don't want to lose the Elder. So I'm going to put out the Mogg War Marshal, putting out an additional Goblin token, and then swinging for 2 again, knocking Phyrexia down to 21. And at the end of this turn, Phyrexia puts out its creature, which is an Abyssal Spectre. 2/3. It's one of the 8 2-powered cards that are in the deck. It has flying, and whenever it damages a player, that player chooses and discards a card. So Abyssal Spectre is an interesting choice in this. I wanted to have as varied a deck type to play against as possible. Then at the start of the turn, if this were a multiple player game, I would roll a dice to see which player would be affected by this card. And then after casting that, I would cast an effect that would basically do something to all, that wouldn't target, essentially. So, at the start of Phyrexia's turn, it casts Flay, which is target player discards a card at random from their hand, then they discard another card unless they can pay 1. And I am tapped out, so I'm going to be discarding 2 cards. So I'm going to be discarding 2 cards at random. I've got 4 cards here. I will separate it into... We'll just go with whatever these 2 are. Kind of mix them up a little bit. And odds, evens. And it is odds, so I lose these 2, which are Clodatha Rebirth and Spikeshot Elder. Dang it. Alright, so now that you've done that to me, this goes set aside, and now it casts Unnerve. Each of your opponents chooses and discards 2 cards. Well, okay. That was the thing. Abyssal Spectre swings out, I take 2 damage, I'm down to 23. And it goes on to my 3rd turn. I might still be able to win, though. I think I'm going to keep the War Marshal alive. I have no reason to, worry about what kind of mana I've got, and it is Shrapnel Blast. Well, I wouldn't be able to cast it anyway. And I'm definitely going to lose it then. But I can swing for 4. Phyrexia is down to 17. I'm still at 23. Now, it keeps this creature out. Only one creature will ever be attacking you from Phyrexia, so what happens is if you destroy that creature, you have the odds of getting a slightly more powerful creature or a slightly weaker creature can suddenly come out. Basically, at the end of your turn, or the community player's turn, at the end of their turn, if there is no creature that can attack them from Phyrexia, Phyrexia puts a new one out to attack them. Alright, so Phyrexia's turn starts. This untaps, obviously, and now I lose 4 life and Phyrexia gains 4 life. Phyrexia is now back up to 21. And I am down to 19. Okay. And then, after that, it casts... Each player loses 1 life for each creature he or she controls. The cool thing about this is, like I said, Phyrexia is not a player, so it doesn't lose any life from having the Abyssal Spectre. But I do. I lose for having these 3 creatures, so I am now down to 16. And then it swings for 2. I'm at 14. And I discard my card. Eesh. Alright. Now it's my turn. Turn 4. Draw. It's a land. And I'm actually going to put out Tuktuk. And attack for 5. Means Phyrexia is now down to 16. Phyrexia takes its turn. And, no. Okay, now it's the worst one. Needlebite Trap. It doesn't matter what this is because it's not being cast. Target player loses 5 life and you gain 5 life. I'm the target, so I lose 5 life. I'm down to 9. Holy crap. And they gain life. They're back up to 21. Swings for 2. Ugh, I'm down to 7. Oh, wait, I need to actually reveal this one, too. Desolation. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, at the end of that turn, they sacrifice a land. And this stays out. So, this is a multiplayer deck. I might not have wanted to do this. Oh well. On tap, I can still snatch victory from this defeat. From the jaws of defeat, anyway. And Lightning Bolt. Well, taking a little bit of a risk here. Swinging for, yeah, I'll swing for 5. Deal 5 damage, knock this down to 16. And, pass turn to Phyrexia. Abyssal Spectre untaps. This is my hand. Reveal. Rhystic Siphon. Unless target player pays 3, he loses 5 life, and you gain 5 life. Well, I'm paying the 3. And then, each player removes 2 cards from their hand from the game. I will lose the Lightning Bolt. Swings out. I'm down to 5. And because I tapped a land, I sacrifice a land. Alright, turn 6. Doesn't look good. Gotta be honest here. Does not look good. Draw. Goblin Bushwhacker. Well, that makes a little bit of a difference. Tap. Play the Bushwhacker. Kicked. Then attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Knocking down to 5. That's pretty good. And we'll pass turn to Phyrexia. Sun taps. Do I lose life? Nope. Target player sacrifices a creature. Oh, well. Now you've messed up, Phyrexia. I will sacrifice Tuktuk. And get back Tuktuk the Returned. Putting Tuktuk into my graveyard to trigger the token effect. Then it will cast another Desolation. Well, they do stack, so if I tap... Oh, I lost this land. So now if I tap a land, I sacrifice 2 lands. Swings for 2. I go down to 3. My turn starts, and I will win the game on this turn. Yep, Mountain. Swing for 5. 5 damage, and that's game. And that's how it plays against a really, really powerful Phyrexian deck. We'll call this game 1. I'll stop it here and upload the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this challenge deck and what you think of Tuktuk, how it played. If I made any misplays or something, be sure to tell me. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much and take care.